Excuse me. Vanessa sneered, narrowing her eyes at the young black woman standing anxiously at the counter. Do you really think you can just stroll in here and return these? Do you even realize how much these cost? Hint, more than your welfare check. The store buzzed with customers browsing racks of overpriced shoes. But all eyes shifted to the unfolding drama near the cash register. Shanti's cheeks burned, her grip tightening on the shoebox she held. She had saved every penny for these shoes, eager to make the right impression for a job interview that could change everything for her and her daughter. But now this arrogant, entitled manager was turning her simple return into a public spectacle. Shanti's daughter, Leela, just 5 years old, waited patiently by the bench at the store's entrance, unaware of the escalating tension. Look, Shanti stammered, her voice shaking. I just need to return these. I bought them yesterday, but they don't fit, and I really need the money back. Vanessa scoffed loudly enough for everyone to hear. I'm so tired of you people thinking you can exploit the system. Rules are rules. No refunds on worn items. Little did Vanessa know she wasn't dealing with just any customer. Shanti wasn't the pushover Vanessa believed she was, and she had no idea the storm she had just unleashed. This wasn't going to conclude the way Vanessa thought it would. The store, located in the heart of Manhattan's Upper East Side, catered to an affluent clientele. Rows of polished leather loafers and designer sneakers lined the walls, each pair boasting a price tag that could cover a family's rent. Shanti didn't belong in a place like this, at least not according to Vanessa, who was always quick to judge anyone she deemed out of place. Shanti had entered the store a day earlier with hope in her heart, and Leela's tiny hand clasped in hers. She'd spent months job hunting after being laid off, juggling interviews and freelance gigs to get by. When she saw the ad for a store clerk position in the men's section, she immediately applied. The interview was her ticket to stability, a chance to give Leela a better life. She'd bought the shoes with trembling hands, knowing it was a risk, but desperate to look professional. The store's 30-day no-questions-asked return policy had reassured her. But now, staring into Vanessa's cold, mocking eyes, she realized the fine print didn't apply to people like her. The receipt states returns are allowed within 30 days, Shanti insisted, her voice growing steadier. These shoes don't even have a scratch on them. I said no, Vanessa snapped, crossing her arms. And if you don't leave, I'll have security escort you out. Shanti's chest tightened, but she refused to back down. Please, I'm just trying to do the right thing. I have a little girl to care for. Vanessa cut her off with a scoff. Oh, don't start with the sob story. Maybe if you worked harder and made better choices, you wouldn't be in this situation. Several customers shifted uncomfortably, whispering among themselves. A few pulled out their phones, recording the escalating scene. Unbeknownst to Vanessa, the store's owner, Ryan, had just entered the building. Ryan, a sharp businessman in his late 40s, prided himself on running an inclusive, customer-focused operation. As he made his way to the front, he noticed the commotion and paused to observe. Vanessa's voice rose. I've seen people like you before, always looking for a handout. You think you can cheat the system, but not on my watch. Now get out! Ryan frowned, his jaw tightening. He stepped forward, just as Shanti's voice cracked. I don't want a handout. I just want what's fair. Vanessa rolled her eyes. Life's not fair. Deal with it. Ryan's voice cut through the tension like a knife. Vanessa, a word! Vanessa spun around, her face draining of color. Oh, Mr. Taylor, I didn't see you there. I was just addressing a situation. Addressing it? Ryan repeated, his tone icy. By violating our return policy and humiliating a customer in front of the entire store, Vanessa stammered, but Ryan held up a hand to silence her. He turned to Shanti, his expression softening. Ma'am, I'm truly sorry for how you've been treated. Please let me handle this personally. Vanessa, you're dismissed for the day. We'll discuss your behavior in my office tomorrow. Vanessa's jaw dropped. But sir, she's trying to scam us. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Enough! Go home! As Vanessa stormed off, Shanti's knees buckled with relief. Ryan guided her to the counter and processed the return himself, ensuring she received every penny back. But what happened next would leave everyone speechless. The next morning, Ryan delved into the resumes his assistant had flagged as potential hires. One name caught his eye: Shanti Williams. Her qualifications were impressive, but it was her handwritten cover letter that moved him. She wrote about her dream of providing for her daughter and finding a workplace where she could grow. Ryan couldn't shake the image of the woman Vanessa had berated. Deciding to give her a chance, he called Shanti. When she answered, her voice was cautious but polite. "Miss Williams, this is Ryan Taylor, the owner of Taylor & Company Footwear. I'd like to offer you an interview for the store clerk position." Shanti's breath hitched. She glanced at Leela, who was coloring on the living room floor. "Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor. I won't disappoint you." When Shanti arrived for the interview, Ryan greeted her warmly. He introduced her to the team and walked her through the store. Vanessa was noticeably absent. By the end of the day, Shanti had secured the job and a second chance at life. A week later, Vanessa returned to the store, visibly irritated. She had been reprimanded but not fired, much to her chagrin. Spotting Shanti working in the men's section, Vanessa's lip curled. "Oh, look who's back," Vanessa sneered. "How long do you think you'll last here?" Shanti met her gaze calmly. "Long enough to prove you wrong there." Their exchange was cut short when Ryan called for a staff meeting. Standing before the team, he announced a major promotion. Shanti had been selected as the new assistant manager, effective immediately. Gasps filled the room. Vanessa's face turned red. "You've got to be kidding me! Her! Over me!" Ryan's voice was firm. "Yes, Vanessa, because unlike you, Shanti embodies the values this company stands for: respect, kindness, and integrity." Vanessa stormed out, slamming the door behind her. The remaining staff erupted in applause, congratulating Shanti. Tears welled in her eyes as she realized she'd finally found a place where she belonged. Vanessa, bitter and furious, wasn't ready to let things go. She began spreading malicious rumors about Shanti, hoping to tarnish her reputation and force Ryan to reconsider his decision. What Vanessa didn't know was that Shanti had kept a record of everything, from the incident at the counter to the underhanded comments Vanessa had made about other employees. One evening, Ryan called a surprise staff meeting. Everyone gathered in the break room, curious about the sudden announcement. Ryan stood at the front holding a folder. "I've been made aware of some troubling behavior," he began. "And after conducting a thorough investigation, I've come to a decision." Vanessa smirked, assuming the announcement was about Shanti. But Ryan's next words wiped the grin off her face. "Vanessa, your actions have not only violated company policy, but also created a toxic work environment. Effective immediately. Your employment is terminated." Vanessa's eyes widened. "You can't be serious. She's lying." Ryan held up the folder. "The evidence speaks for itself. Security will escort you out." As Vanessa was led away, Shanti felt a wave of relief and vindication. But the surprises weren't over. Ryan turned to Shanti and handed her a letter. "What's this?" she asked. "Your new role," Ryan said with a smile. "You're being promoted to store manager." Tears streamed down Shanti's face as the room erupted in cheers. Leela, who had been waiting outside, ran in and hugged her mother tightly. That evening, as Shanti walked home with Leela, she felt something she hadn't in years: true happiness. She had faced cruelty and prejudice, but emerged stronger, proving to herself and her daughter that dignity and perseverance always triumph in the end.